Good to see you, and welcome back. Steve Raycraft, as always. Always a good time to have him in the studio. Steve is the director of the Josephine County Right to Life, with the big March for Life coming up, which is an annual event. And his heart and his passion, I want to say thank you for your heart and your passion.
Thank you, Perry.
You work hard at this, you guys.
And I love it that you recognize the right to life in the pro-life cause. I just heard a little bit of the previous guest on the show, and I'm sorry I couldn't catch all of it because I was rushing to get in here and get ready. But yeah, we've been doing this for close to 50 years, marching in Grants Pass, standing up for life. We continue to do it.
The big event's coming up?
Yeah, the climate is crazy, but we're back out faithfully again this Sunday. May 4th, we're marching from the courthouse as usual down to Riverside Park, starting at 1:30 when we launch the march. And then we have our event down at the park, our rally at 2 o'clock.
All right, this is an annual event. It's you guys have been granted the opportunity to do this across the bridge. We're at the courthouse and go over to the park. Been hugely successful. And how would you grade the Right to Life movement now, not only in Josephine County, but maybe in the country, in the state?
Well, to start with the state, Oregon is a hot mess when it comes to the pro-life cause. In fact, our governor actually declared Abortion Provider Appreciation Day earlier this year, a huge slap in the face to all the pro-life folks in the state. And it's bad enough that they promote abortion, but they're celebrating abortion in our state government, and it just breaks our hearts that we're in that kind of situation with the very state we live in and we love, and to watch it slide into the abyss celebrating abortion is terrible.
So the other thing that I think people need to understand, of the 50 states, we're like number 50.
We're the worst when it comes to abortion restrictions, and they're funding and inviting people in and paying for people to come in for abortions in states that will not allow abortions any longer. So
okay, just a couple of other things. Roe versus Wade has been overturned. That came back to the state. It puts a lot of pressure on each state to get involved. Is there a move at the state level to change our Constitution concerning this issue?
Well, I mean, there's a heart to do that. There's a desire to do that, but it's a political battle. And we are outvoted and outgunned in the state of Oregon right now. So we pray for it. We know and trust God will fix the state of Oregon and the United States and this entire world as He pleases in due time. But right now, it doesn't look very promising, very hopeful.
How is the pill now is being used a lot, the abortion pill, and there was a story just like 2 days ago that the abortion pill side effects are 22 times higher than originally estimated.
Of course, because they lied about it from the beginning. They continue to lie about it, and it is difficult to track what's going on because they try to bury any instances where there are complications. They don't want to publish those stories, so they make it look cheap and easy and painless, and it's none of the above. It's a terrible answer to the problem.
I just hope that people will understand that here in the state of Oregon, if you're a pro-lifer, you need to come out and support these organizations. The one that Steve heads up, the Josephine County Right to Life, with their annual march, maybe the local pregnancy center in your area, which to me, those are the ones who are really saving lives at this point and turning the hearts and minds around. But this coming Sunday will be the March for Life. This is a big deal. So who's going to be speaking? What are you doing here?
Well, as usual, we'll march peacefully and prayerfully down to the park. We'll have worship music. We'll have pastors offering prayer, local state government representatives, Dwayne Yunker, Noah Robinson, Alex Scarlatos are all coming to speak to us, as well as county and city officials who are pro-life that want to share with us their hearts for life.
That's wonderful.
And so that's what we're doing. We've been doing this, again, close to 50 years. We're standing on the shoulders of those warriors that first stood up and made a public demonstration that life is sacred and that abortion is the wrong answer and is an evil that we can't allow it to pass unnoticed. We need to stand up and represent the heart of our God.
Are there other marches going on?
There is one in 2 weeks on Saturday, I think the 17th in Salem. The other marches typically have happened already earlier in the year. We switched from January to May because in May of '69 is when the state of Oregon first made their efforts to legalize abortion in the state of Oregon prior to Roe versus Wade. Mm-hmm. So now we're putting the spotlight on Oregon and the month of May.
That's wonderful. Is there, are you hearing from other state right to lives how it's going and people getting involved since it's come back to the states?
I have seen news stories on it, and again, it depends on the state. It depends on, we have a split in this country, almost 50-50. We've got a president that we elected that's pro-life, that's in support of family and faith and conservative values, and then we have people that rail against him. The other 50% of this hate the man, hate our president, hate the pro-life cause, love abortion, and support abortion. So it's a battle. This is a spiritual battle we're in the middle of. It seems to be getting more and more obvious that that's exactly what's happening. And we can't shrink from the battle. We need to conduct it in the spirit of love as Jesus would have us conduct the battle, but we have to stand up and we have to be heard. We have to represent. And we're also having speakers that are going to address the issues in our schools right now. And
which is what? What's happening?
Well, it's the woke agenda. It's pornography in our libraries. It's shoving the gender confusion down the throats of our kids, and it's being mandated from on high from the state of Oregon and the Oregon Department of Education, and they're forcing our school boards to comply or under threat of legal action. So can our school board stand up and represent our values in Southern Oregon and in Grants Pass and Josephine County? And that's the challenge right now. So we have candidates that are running on pro-life and Christian values that are
that's
trying
the May election coming up.
It's the May 20th election. So we're addressing that briefly as well. It's the sanctity of life. We're trying to address the fact that our children are under attack. Their innocence is under attack. Our school systems now are implementing an attack against Christian values and causing, and supporting gender confusion and pornography in our libraries. We actually had a speaker from the Oregon Library Association saying anything that's in our libraries, as bad as it could be, has some value, pornographic works included, and they need to remain in our libraries. And parents there's a bill, I think it's tomorrow, in the state legislature saying that parents can't challenge books. They're trying to stop parents from having any say in what's going on in the schools. So it's a sad day in Oregon to see another evidence that Oregon's in trouble and our values are under attack.
Well, folks, this is an opportunity. Things happen where 2 or 3 are gathered in the Lord's name, and a march is part of the physical awareness of what takes place here. I would encourage you to gather there at 1 o'clock. This will be this coming Sunday, so it's after church. You can get down to the courthouse there. For those of you in Josephine County, now I will say this, a lot of people from Jackson County go over there as well.
I wanted to make sure to invite Jackson County as well, yes.
Yeah, yes. And they come from Curry County and around. But this is an event that's, like you said, going on for about 50 years. But as you march peacefully and prayerfully over that bridge, it's such a symbol of unbelievable stance for the side of life. It's just... It's an amazing thing to see. I've seen you people do that in the rain and in the heat.
Mostly in the rain.
Mostly in the rain.
January. It's supposed to be gorgeous weather. This coming Sunday. And we just, we know we win this battle. We know the Lord wins. So we don't have to worry about that, but we do have to be faithful. We do have to stand up. We have to demonstrate our faith in a public manner. We want all the churches and all the pastors to come out as well. That's where we really crave support, is from our churches.
And so I also just like to make mention that, pastors, you could mention this Sunday in your church. After church, people could go do this. So it starts 1 o'clock, begins there. The march begins at 1:30, but you gather there at the courthouse at 1, and then you move across over into the Riverside Park Pavilion, which is absolutely wonderful place to gather. The weather will be perfect, and the cause is absolutely a big deal, a huge deal. It deals with the heart of God, deals with creation. So
come and lift up the call and lift each other up, gathering together like that, and being in fellowship with that many people that are standing for life is just a blessed thing.
Good. So Sunday, 1 o'clock. Make sure you're there. Thank you, Steve. Good to see you. Thank you, Bud, for you and your team and all that you guys do. God bless you, pal.
We appreciate you and the Dove, Perry.
Okay.
Always do.
All right.
Thank you.